It's a beautiful arena. It's a great atmosphere, and it gets me excited for our future and what we got coming next year. Gets me a little jealous, but we're going to have ours next year. But they've done a really good job here, and it was a heck of a game. And hopefully the city of Chicago can rally around the improvement of the basketball in this area. We're trying to do our part. You know, these guys are getting better. What Loyola's doing down the road with Porter. The city of Chicago basketball on the college level, to me, is in a really healthy place, and playing in a game like today was really fun.
Coach, can you take us through the last 4 seconds defensively? One of the main goals of
That was probably one of the first few goals. I mean, he had a great night, and heck of a player, and he's really hard to cover. His movement, he's in such good shape. I mean, he just runs all day. I mean, I had the opportunity, you know, in my younger days to coach a guy who had that kind of spirit and will, and J.J. Redick, who was just kind of nonstop movement and a competitor. And, you know, obviously I'm not comparing Max to him with that yet. He's got a lot of basketball ahead of him, but just the way he plays, I really admire him. He's a heck of a player. You can tell he loves to compete. But on the last play, you know, we were in this situation in Atlanta a few weeks ago. You know, we had a 1-point lead against Georgia Tech, and we're all kind of kicking ourselves for how we defended that last play. We gave up a layup at the buzzer to lose. And there was just a resolve in our huddle. We wanted to make them come back to the ball so that it would take them 3 or 4 dribbles to get into the scoring area. And obviously we didn't want Strus to get to touch, you know, and then the worst thing we could do is give up a 3 because we were winning by 2. So I thought McIntosh did a really good job. Kane got the ball. He stayed on him. He didn't foul, made him shoot a really tough shot, and we got the stop. You know, just it's what does Coach Fitz say, an upper body injury? Okay, so no, he fell down on the play, and we'll evaluate, but it's an upper body injury that's being evaluated.
Was he also ill?
He was early in the game, so I think you guys saw he had to head out, you know, with a little bit of stomach issues in the first half. So tough day all around for him. But, you know, we just got to, those things, we'll get back home, we'll evaluate where he's at, and we'll give you guys an update on, you know, what his status is going forward.
Talk about putting Scottie in with 9 minutes to go with 4 fouls.
Mm-hmm. Well, these guys will tell you, like, I'm not a coach that I trust my players. You know, I don't mind playing guys with fouls. You know, a lot of coaches, like in the first half, if a guy has 2 fouls, they have rules where you sit till halftime. I just don't believe in that. You know, he's a senior. You know, I trust that he's going to be smart. Most of the time he is, not always. But I just felt at that time of the game, he'd been sitting for a while. You know, I think he'd been on the bench 4 or 5 minutes. The game was really in a key moment. And that being said, I thought the minutes by Isaiah Brown, Jordan Ash, and Anthony Gaines were huge. You had Vic out, and you had Scottie with 4. You had Gavin Skelly with 4 fouls. And we needed those 3 kids to come in. And I thought they did an awesome job for us during that stretch.
Talk about cleaning up the turnovers after having 13 in the first half. How much did that help?
Yeah, I mean, we had 5 in the second half. You know, having turnovers is not who we are. I mean, we're not a team that can withstand high turnover games. You know, part of it was DePaul's defense. Like, they have length. They have quickness, and they have length, and they have size at the basket. So I thought their coverages were really good. I thought they did a great job with McIntosh in the pick and rolls. They made him, you know, made life miserable on him, which is a big part, and forced us to kind of go to other things. And I want to say, though, in the first half, we had charges, moving screens. You know, like, part of it were self-inflicted offensive fouls that were turnovers, but we did a better job in the second half. And, you know, it's something that we have to always do, because high turnovers is not a good recipe for us against good teams.
Is Bryant fully healthy?
Yeah, he is. He's healthy. He had a tough shooting night. You know, the thing I like, though, is he had 7 assists and no turnovers. And, you know, what it shows, though, is he's a great player for us, but we can win. We can win with other guys, too. And, you know, he just had a tough night shooting, and I'd have to look at it, but I thought he had some he normally makes. But other than that, I thought, you know, they made him take tough shots, and then he had some, you know, he had a couple wide open ones that kind of rattled in and out, but he just got to flush that. You just got to be resilient. It's part of it. There's days you just can't put it in the hole, but he's going to bounce back. You guys know how resilient Brian is. Well, what? Right here. Sorry.
Specifically with Cyrus on McIntosh, what did he do to really frustrate him?
I just think his length, his quickness, they did a good job. They were trapping him in all his ball screens, where Bryant's really good in the pick and rolls. But Cyrus is a good defender. He's long. He's got a will on that end. He likes to play defense. They were making him use energy to bring the ball up the court. They were picking him up kind of in the full court to get into his legs a little bit. And again, I thought they did a good job. I also thought, sometimes too, you catch a guy on a night where he loves those little floaters in the lane, and normally he makes a lot of those. He just wasn't able to get them going down tonight.
Scottie, can you talk about the game-winning shot? What you saw there? What happened?
Yeah, we had a play that we had set up, and all night they were blocking the ball screen, so they kind of took away our play, and I just looked up at the clock, and it was only about 6 seconds left, so I just knew that I had to get a shot up, and I didn't feel like he was really pressuring me, and I thought, I had a good shot opportunity, and I've been shooting well on that night, so I thought it was a good shot and it went in.
Chris, you mentioned basketball in this area.
Yeah.
Basketball. I was thinking of Philly in the Big Five.
Sure.
How for trying to do something like that would you be at least?
Yeah, I think it sounds great. The reality is, you see in our league, we're going to 20 games in our schedule, and our league makes us play a challenge game against the ACC. They make us play a challenge game against the Big East, and then most teams like to play in a Thanksgiving tournament. So the reality is, it makes scheduling very difficult. So, that being said, we've played Illinois and DePaul already this year, and that's something. This game against DePaul is one that I think is important to us at Northwestern. Hopefully it's important to DePaul. I think it's a game that should be played. It's a great December game on a Saturday afternoon like this. I know they're doing things in certain states now, whether it be in Iowa or in Michigan or in Indiana, where you can put a doubleheader together. I'd be open to discussions. But the reality is, now with these leagues going to more conference games, it's going to make some of that stuff more difficult.
For both of you guys, but you mentioned the three guys off the bench, Isaiah, Jordan, and Anthony coming in and producing. Bench issues have been an issue to start the season. How important was it for them to help the guys out?
It was definitely important. I think it was a confidence builder for guys like Anthony. This is his first time around, and this was a huge game, And I thought he stepped up, definitely having to guard Max at the end of the game. That was a big assignment for him. And every game with Isaiah, he's just getting better and better every game, just getting his confidence back. And I think Jordan is a good locker room guy. Everyone really listens to him and rallies around him. So when he's playing well, I think everyone starts to play well.
Did you kind of feel like you were going toe-to-toe with Strus at all? Hitting three-pointers?
Now that I look at the stats, it looks like it. But I just, wanted to do everything that I could to help my team win. And Max hit some big shots for his team, and he almost won in the game. And I just felt like tonight my team needed me to hit shots and close the game. So that's what I did.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, guys, thank you.